Okay, so I started this video, but then you can see the inside of my mask, which has all this makeup. I felt very embarrassed. So, let's find a place. Let's find a place. Here's good enough. So, hello. Welcome to Onyx Pages. Welcome to my Friday Reads video, where I tell you what I'm reading on a Friday, and where I sort of give you any announcements that I think are really important for you to hear. So first of all, happy Friday. It's the last Friday in October, the last Friday of Blackoween, and for a lot of people, I think it's a bit of a transition time, because after Halloween is over, then you have like the descent of the Jolly and Merry for some people. And if you're like me, that's bothersome. So happy Free Friday. So yes, right now I am still reading Midnight in Indigo, which is a collection of 22 speculative stories by Black women writers. It was edited by Iana A. Small. And I found out about this this collection or anthology. I keep on like forgetting the difference between an anthology and a collection. One is when it's just one author and a bunch of their stories, and the other is when it's a bunch of different authors. I think this is an anthology when it's different people. I know this kind of doesn't really matter, but it matters because I have to be accurate and perfect. But anyway, this is really, so I'm about halfway through. I have been reading this extremely slowly. I wanted to show you this is one of actually my favorite Melanin Eclectic bookmarks. Brittany is just such a prolific creatrix of the arts. Yeah, so okay, announcement that I don't need to listen to. So one thing that I'm realizing, and I kind of like, I have a bunch of different collections of short works by Black women, and I realize that when I read them, I think, why don't I only read stories written by Black women? Because there are so many moments when the authors kind of bring to focus the main issues of racism and sexism in our everyday experience. And it's just the subtleties of these things are so important. Or what I'm enjoying about this book, and also what I enjoyed about How to Dispatch a Human, which was the collection / anthology of short speculative works by Dr. Stephanie Andrea Allen, is that many of those stories picked up on those moments that don't get picked up on the news, on the mainstream news, or don't get picked up in our conversations with our peers outside of our like circle of friends, right? So as an example, I finished reading a story about a woman whose daughter disappeared when she was at an away camp. And this woman, Paula, spent years, it seems many years, at least like almost 10 years, driving around trying to find her daughter, trying to find out what happened to her daughter. And, you know, I'm not a parent, many people will say that the horror that a parent feels when they can't find their child is like the worst horror in the world. It is terrible, horrific. It changes your life forever. And this story picks that up really beautifully. And it's interesting that when we think about horror movies, we don't often see the focus on some of the daily horrors that like I might experience or others might experience. And I've said this before when talking about Black horror generally, but also Black queer horror. So in this particular story, Paula's driving, she's drinking and driving. She is having hallucinations / visitations. Who knows? The lines are always blurred. and she's trying to figure out what happened to her daughter. And she does, in a very intense way. And I just kind of read this before bed, and I thought, this is amazing. The themes are really amazing, because in that story, we've got a blend of the supernatural and the mundane horrors of being, in this case, a middle-aged Black woman. And I have to say, I'm very much loving the work that's written by, Black women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, because there's a lot to be said about why YA is really great and important. But some of these stories, you can tell that these authors have lived and have survived and thrived amidst, in some cases, all-out attacks on their personhood, on their womanhood. And so, yeah, it's definitely a slow read for me, but each story feels very different. I don't know what I'm gonna get, and I'm 100% okay with that. So that is Midnight in Indigo. The train is coming. I'm just gonna pause because it's kind of loud. Let me just wait till it stops ringing. Maybe I won't wait, because that could take a while. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is that Chloe over at Thistle and Verse, who is amazing, and you should subscribe to her channel. Chloe has done a couple of different interviews on her channel. She has one that went up earlier this week, and I think you should go over to her channel and watch it and subscribe to her channel, because she is thinking of doing monthly interviews. And one thing I love about Chloe, I don't have a lot of space left on my phone, so what I'll say is that you should definitely check out Chloe's channel. She is an incredible interviewer. Her interview questions are amazing, and her depth of knowledge, the way that she approaches her reading, is just really wonderful. So I think that she's going to be embarking upon monthly author interviews, which I totally support. So yes, subscribe to her channel. The other thing is a bit of a sneak preview, kind of, sort of. It's a sneak preview because I am going to be telling you about something that's going to be happening soon, but it's kind of sort of not a sneak preview because it kind of sort of already happened. So so there is an author called Njeri Kagunda. She's a Kenyan author, and she has recently launched her novella, And This Is How We Live, which was published by Neon Hemlock, and she's recently launched that. So that came out on Tuesday. I am going to have the pleasure of collaborating with Neon Hemlock and also with Njeri Kagunda, who I call Njeri because 2 Njeris on an Onyx Pages video is amazing. And it's something that I didn't think would ever happen, because you don't meet Njeris often. But every single Njeri that I've met outside of myself, well, I'm also awesome, but every other one has also been awesome, and Njeri is awesome. And so we are going to be doing something together. I will be reading And This Is How We Live, and then we will be doing something on my channel. So in order to fully embrace and indulge in the experience that will be 2 Njeris on Onyx Pages, I definitely implore you to go out and get a copy of the novella. Everything that I've read from Njeri has been amazing, because she's Njeri and she's amazing, and also so definitely take a look. You can get the e-copy of the novella somewhere. Maybe I'll put a link. I've been bad at those this year. Or the other thing that you can do is just order it and get it at your house and read the physical book. It's probably going to be early November that we're going to be doing the thing, but this is your advanced notice of the experience. A couple of other things. If you are joining us in the Octavia E. Butler Slow Read, thank you very much. We are currently reading Adulthood Rights, which is the second book in the Xenogenesis series. So you should definitely make sure that you've read Dawn if you haven't done that, because we are going to be connecting again in November, at the end of November, to read Adulthood Rights. And I will be doing a slow read on my channel, so you can prepare for that by getting your copy. Okay, I'm sure my video is going to run out Also, the platform is getting a little bit more populated. So I am gonna go, but I will give you this is what I'm looking at. This is the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go, but make sure that you read with purpose. Thanks very much for watching. Happy Friday. See you soon. Bye.